straight into it. Got our man Yaya Touré over here, drinking a bit of non-alcoholic wine, chilling, resting in the spot. But as accomplished as he is, he's still contemplating on a managerial career. So after some quick digging, he looks online, looks for a place to start his managerial career. Somewhere low-key, small, but enough to still get his coaching badges. Of course, the end goal is the Premier League, but everyone has to start somewhere. And it looks like he's chosen UCD Dublin, a small team globally, but somehow it's found itself in the first division in Ireland. Now logging onto the system, we can see the team that he's working with. Fairly low overalls when looking at the FIFA ratings, but there is one standout there that I can see in the centre forward position named Everywhere. Someone to look out for, definitely. Now tactically, you can also see that he's going with a staggered, fluid 4-3-3 formation, fluid rotations everywhere. Everywhere especially dropping into the false 9 position, now into his first game, pre-season, not official, but professional nonetheless. And as we get things started, looking at it, Everywhere, person we were talking about, already involved in the build-up play. We can see how people are moving in patterns, passing, link-up play, and you can almost see the influence of his older managers. You can see the attackers dropping into the midfield like a Bué, midfielders going into attack to cover. We can really see that come to fruition with this goal right here from a Bué, the number 19. And we can see this continue to happen with his run of games here. Good play, good build-up, good goals. And with play like this that probably nobody has ever seen in such a league, it's not long until we see some suitors coming from foreign countries all over the globe. Of course, he hasn't fully proven himself yet at any top level, but there is definitely potential here. And with a successful string of results following him at UCD, it wasn't long before suitors came knocking on his door or calling him on his phone. And so, with the rest of that Premier League money he saved up, taking a private jet straight to the headquarters of this new club. Diaspora United. Now it's definitely an ambitious project to say the least. Diaspora United focusing on recruiting African internationals whilst being located in the diaspora. And given Yaya Touré's impact in the world of football in Europe and back home in Africa, he seemed like the perfect candidate. So here we're focusing on the players coming from Africa specifically, ranging from all over the continent. Nigeria, Ivory Coast, we have some Northern African countries as well. And here we're specifically focusing on Ibrahim, a striker that has come through the ranks here whilst they were non-league. Here are some highlights of him as well. You can see what he really does, his style, his flair. And there's genuinely so much potential coming in through the ranks. Excited to show it to you. I know Yaya Touré must be as well. But now I bring it back to the settings to show you how I'm setting up the series. Gonna make it as realistic as possible. Ultimate, of course. Pivoting back onto the non-league point I made about Ibrahim. Here you can see how we were back in the non-league era, Panorama League. You can see that we also had some construction going on. That's been finished now. We'll show you how that looks now in our stadium. And in regards to the series itself, I do want to establish that I want it to be a good mixture of narration and cinematics. So without further ado, let's get this FC25 career mode started.
A warm welcome to you all. Without further delay, we are pleased to introduce your new manager.
So the board has made a lot of promises towards Yaya Touré in regards to his future, job security and vision alignment. And with that, he also seems to be on board with the captain here, Shepherd. But let's go over the team now. So he's looking to play tiki-taka football in a 4-3-3 formation, similar to UCD. Tactically, he's very fluid. Again, just like his former job. Now into the best part of career mode, in my opinion. As you can remember from the targets, it's a medium level target, medium level priority, youth development. So the 3 countries we're looking to visit first is Algeria, Cameroon, and of course Ivory Coast. And this I think will be the lifeline of this career mode. Because as you can see in our actual youth squad right now, there's a lot of different nationalities, not adhering to the philosophy we're trying to push forward. But nevertheless, there's still some players that we can definitely use in this squad that can use at least to maximise the potential, maybe get some profit or some utilisation within the squad. Looking at Longo here and Bernard, definitely people to look out for in the future. And Longo just couldn't help himself to a cheeky little celebration there. That is the type of energy you want to keep around the youth academy and the squad in general. We certainly have big plans for the academy and for the young players here. Gonna be a big intake coming in the next 6 months. We'll show you that when that comes about. We'll do our best to bring in players that match and can fit into the system that we have in the first team. And we've started off positively here, so let's keep that momentum going. So we're into the pre-season tournament now. The perfect time to showcase what he's going to do tactically, how he's looking to coach and set up certain players, and to know how he's going to set up his team. He's been setting up some rigorous training sessions himself directly. You want to know if his players can handle the pressure of quick play, quick counter-attacking scenarios as well, to see who and what and where and how people can play in the system. Our passing looks good, finishing could do with some work, but we'll see how that translates into the pre-season game. Early possession of the ball. Ibrahim dropping in from that false 9 position, lays it off to Morgan, but he looks a bit too eager here. Good wing play from Mohamed. Fed into Shepherd. Good interplay from the midfielders and the attack here. Shot from Morgan, safely held by the keeper. Similar to the training session we just had. Good play, good passing, good build up, but it's just the finishing that's lacking. Wasn't a great challenge by the opposition here on our left back Banku. And the decision from the ref is a red, straight red from the player here. Yeah, looking at the replay here, definitely a red. But Yaya still trying to find a way to break down the 10-man team here. That being said, we've looked to our bench now to see if we can bring us some fresh legs to break the deadlock. But with our first game here coming to an end, it looks like we're going to have to settle for a point. Despite the domination, despite the man advantage, we don't need to get too negative, but there's definitely some things we need to work on. Overall, we didn't do too bad. We've got Pistorius and Ramos coming in with some good performances. Clark, however, our centre-back was a bit lacklustre. But there's plenty of time to work on anything that we need to iron out. Back to our managerial duties. We're looking to give out some new contracts. Excitingly, we've been looking into the transfer market. Look out for Yaya. We've got some other players on the market as well that we're looking out for. But there's definitely some gems, some African gems that we can look to bring in the January transfer window. And in our first intake of youth prospects, we have a young striker, a midfielder / winger from Ivory Coast. We have a Diara, Diakite, midfielders coming in also. The back room being sorted in between then. We have our first game coming up against Fleetwood Town. It looks like we might need a lot to break them down with their 5 at the back system. With Ramos' positive start in pre-season, we're looking to see if he can be the catalyst to breaking down their low block.
Time's up, guys. Thanks for your questions.
But with all of this build up out of the way, let's get our first competitive game at home underway. kick off with the ball here. In possession we have Ramos, our midfield maestro, playing it into Ibrahim, doing well to make the keeper work there. Our skipper looks to get a good head on this, just drags it wide. Good trivela by Ramos. And now we're on our way on the counter-attack. Cross into Mohamed. And he bicycle kicks it just wide. A lot seems to be coming down our left-hand side. Good feet from our winger Morgan, but the keeper again makes a great save. Lynch has certainly been on top form today. It's been impossible to get something by him. And that remained the same throughout the entire game as it ends as a 0-0 draw. That being said, definitely not much to say for Clark here. I think with a clean sheet that's good enough for him. And the same goes with Ramos here. Decent game, but a 0-0 draw, so nothing to really rave about.
Thank you for answering the questions.
2 games in a row, we were left with a 0-0 draw. So rather than waiting on our laurels, it was back to the drawing board. Like, yeah, tiki-taka sounds good, but we're in League 2, so let's go back to what we know, what we do in English football. 4-4-2. So we switched Mohamed and Morgan on the wings, and we brought in Barton into that false 9 role there alongside Ibrahim. But also with that being said, we've had to drop out Yaya just to bring in another attacker. Heading into our next game against Newport County, it'll be a great time to test our tactical shift, see how it plays out on the pitch. Some early keep ball from Diaspora. You can see Barton coming in from the left here, looking to prove himself with some skills here, despite losing the ball. You love to see that tenacity from our players. Clark winning the header here. Into Ibrahim. Barton on the attack. Ladies and gentlemen, just like that, we got our first competitive goal, and he looks lively to say the least this afternoon. Kits definitely need some work, can't be having black on black, but a great goal nonetheless. This is exactly what we wanted to see tactically, some more attack and play, some more pressure up top to come with the goal. But it looks like with more presence up front, we're leaving gaps in behind now. And just like that, Newport County back in the game, 1-1. Newport County on the attack again. Spreading out the play. A little shimmy by their attacker, but Touré with a great defensive stop. Their attacker threads it through. Acres of space. And buries it in front of the home support. And they've turned things around here. Decent build-up play from themselves, but we have to ask questions of our midfield. But like I said, we still go again, attacking here through Morgan. Lays it off to Rabika, the right back. It's cleared away, but Ibrahim's found it. But the ball's back into the attacker third. And it finds Barton again, but he manages to sky that into Rose's head. In the second half here, when we're in control of possession again, with Mohamed, we're attacking once again, breaking down on the left hand side. He finds Barton. He lays off to Ibrahim. straight down the keeper, easy as you like. But as we're pushing for an equaliser, we put County go on the attack. The striker keeps on going, and that's the game wrapped up. Done and dusted. The home team and the home fans are ecstatic. They cemented their first win of the league season, and we're still waiting for ours. I think we could ask some questions of the keeper Pistorius here as well, being at his near post.
We just grab a minute of your time for a few questions.
But despite that, we went all in. We wanted an aggressive approach in the first place, so it's just about finding that balance. In the next episode.